David Smith, hardest name in the book. I'm the director of the Illinois Family Institute. We are a Christian nonprofit organization. We're pro-life, pro-marriage, pro-family, and definitely limited government. Can I ask you a question? Over this in Springfield, we do a lot of lobbying. How many bills do you think were introduced this session, which was 2009 and 2010? Anyone want to take a guess at how many bills have been introduced?
Too damn many!
Too many. I'm not going to say that. You almost got me there. Well, what would you say if I tell you there were over 10,000 bills introduced? 10,000 bills increasing the size, the scope, and the spending of government. That a little too many? Well, Governor Quinn, in his March 10th budget address to the General Assembly, he wants to spend $31.5 billion. But here's the catch. The state is only bringing in $27 billion. So what does that mean? Yes, he wants to raise your taxes by 33%. All of ours. Isn't that ridiculous? Well, let me give you a couple examples of where they can cut some waste and what they're already spending it on. $84,000 for a university in Kentucky. $45,000 for a university in Iowa. $14,000 for a university in Colorado. Why are Illinois taxpayers sending money to universities out of state? Do you think that could be cut? Absolutely. How about the Chicago Horticultural Society? Now, I love nice trees and flowers and everything, but $60,000? How about the Missouri Botanical Garden? Another $60,000. How about horse racing interest? Don't you think they have enough money? $78 million. All right, and this one gets me because I live out in Crete. And you know what? That Piatone Airport, they have spent $100 million to study whether or not an airport should go there. And a lot of us can tell them, no, it shouldn't go there. But they've also spent $175 million to purchase private land by eminent domain. Now, how about our Washington, D.C. politicians? Are they any better? Are you fed up with Congress and a president who votes for legislation without ever reading it? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who are spending trillions of borrowed dollars, leaving a debt to our great-grandchildren we will be paying? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who consistently gives interest groups billions of dollars in earmarks to help themselves get reelected? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who wants to take your wealth and redistribute it to other folks? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who admit to using the financial hurt of millions as an opportunity to push their political agenda? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who refuse to stop the flow of millions of illegal aliens into our country? Oh, that one's a good one, yeah. Are you fed up with a Congress and a government and a president who want to force doctors and other medical workers to perform abortions against their will? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who want to impose a carbon tax on your electricity, your gas, and your home heating fuels? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who want to reduce your tax deductibility for charitable gifts? Are you fed up with a Congress and a president who wants to take money from your family budget to pay for their federal budget? I am too. Now, I haven't even talked about the health care bill yet. Oh, you don't like the health care bill? You know, how many of you watched the debate that Sunday night in March when they passed that bill? You know, I got so mad watching liberal politician after liberal politician get up to the microphone and say, health care is a right. It's not a right. What cherished American right requires the government to force you to enjoy it? Which one? We have the Second Amendment. I'm an NRA member. All right? Does the government force me to own a gun so I can enjoy my right to bear arms? No. Does the government force me to speak? Well, I'm speaking willfully, believe it. But, does the government force me to go to church because we have religious freedom? No. How about this? Does the government ever require you take somebody else's resources and give it to someone else so they can enjoy their freedom? No, not at all. And you know what? That means that we have less freedom. You and I have less freedom. In fact, I have a 9-year-old son. I've got a couple other kids back there today too. You know, it's really sad to think about that they're growing up in an America that has less freedom today than what we had when we grew up. It's very sad. But, you know, it's more than just out of government. Let me start that over again. It's more than just out of control government spending and intrusion into our lives. Yes, we have a right in this country, of the people, by the people, and for the people, to speak up. And we have every right to be indignant about how our representatives fail to listen to we the people. Fiscal responsibility is so very important now, especially now, and it's indispensable to our future liberty in this country. That being said, we cannot afford to lose sight of the indispensable role of family and faith in securing our liberty. What do I mean by that? Let me quote a few founding fathers, and I'll be quick about this. John Adams said, quote, "We have no government armed in power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for a religious and moral people. It's wholly inadequate for the government of any other." Let me give you one more quote. Robert Winthrop, who was one of the early speakers of the House of Representatives, said this: "Men, in a word, must necessarily be controlled by a power within them or without them, either by the word of God or the strong arm of man, either by the Bible or by the bayonet." Think about that. In the absence of strong families and vibrant faith, government must step in. If self-control and personal responsibility is not taught and fostered by the family and by the church, the government must coerce it. It is why we need to stand for good public policy. The breakdown of the family, no-fault divorce, the redefinition of marriage, the utter disregard for life in abortion and euthanasia, the widespread approval of pornography and obscenity of all sorts contribute to the breakdown of the family, and it also marginalizes faith. So while I know it seems a little self-serving for the guy from the Christian Illinois Family Institute to talk about the important roles of faith and family in keeping our nation free, I firmly believe it. Since all of us here want to see a limited government, let me encourage you to not only speak out against the nanny state and the welfare state, but also to speak out about out-of-control government immorality on the social issues. God did not intend the government to usurp the roles He gave His church and His family. The government can't do the job. Thank you.